I had an intuition. It's based on the engineering, but it's mainly folk memory and stories. Sophia. The picture Sophia is our creation story. It's the most wonderful story. And you really want it to be true. When you hear it, you go, gosh, imagine if we knew that was our creation story. Imagine how wonderful that would be to be anchored so firmly into nature. And it is true. That is our creation story. So from the engineering, I derived that the CSF is the soft creature of light that lives within us. The pulsatile fluid of the CSF is plasma. It is light. And it's just light viscosity. And as an example, take a vertebrae, take a disc of the vertebrae, and imagine that's created from plasma, from the center. As you've evolved, as from the embryo you've grown, and then you've grown into an adult, that disc has slowly expanded. So what's happening is that the outside of the light has become solid, viscous. As it gets further away from the center of bending, the center of the spine, the spinal cord, further away, the force of rotation lessens, and therefore it just becomes more viscous, and that the viscosity of the light itself then pushes back on the light that pushes it, creating a symbiotic system, repeating the center of the planet as life in your spinal column. At the center there lies your column of light, pure light. Look at the brain and the spinal cord and the nervous system laid out as a creature. It looks ugly. Wrap it back up around a central column of light inside the shape of your body, and it looks beautiful. Beautiful. And I believe this about males. I don't know about females. Males, the soft creature that I've just described to you is Sophia. She is an incredibly hot woman. Imagine in your mind, you, the male, imagine in your mind an absolutely stone cold, boiling hot female. Yeah? Really just perfect for you in your mind, the perfect body of a female in your mind. And that's you, that is. You are that woman, that Sophia, that's you. So Sophia is woman, one woman. She is all that exists, and we experience her. In our minds, we use our imaginations to craft her into the image that suits the story of Sophia, who she is. So I believe this about the trans stuff. It's a misconception and a misunderstanding and a deliberate missteer to stop us seeing this truth. It makes sense. They're forcing it on us so hard now, such bollocks. We're all so tired of it. How do we fight back? Because they're actually hiding the truth. So that to become a true alpha male, you must embrace your feminine. You must know you are Sophia. I discovered this about narcissism. My journey into this, okay, here's some stuff to share. So the moment that I reached puberty late and lost my virginity at 18, I changed from a boy to a man immediately, and it confused the fuck out of me. And I began cross-dressing, and I was drawn to this drive, this urgent drive to cross-dress, to masturbate, and to feel shame. And it was a cycle I was locked into. And when people talk about paedophilia, I understand the drive that might push someone to behave like that, because I understand the drive that pushed me towards that behavior. But I wasn't hurting anyone else except myself. Eventually I put it down. When I was on my journey to cure my narcissism, can I cure my narcissism was the task I set myself, I experimented with going back to cross-dressing and going out. So instead of sitting around being ashamed and masturbating, it stopped becoming a sexual thing and just became a costume that I put on, became this character and trotted off into town in my high heels on my own, gin and tonics, dancing all night, having a good time. I always had a good time. Never on my own for long. Always felt happy. Was always treated with respect. But it was a costume. It was a costume. The best sex that I ever had was when I could imagine in my mind I was fucking myself. So in the process of the trans cross-dressing stuff, I also experimented with homosexuality. I thought I'd see what that was like. I thought about it. I thought, you get used to a man's body because you enjoy the cock. And the point is, you're enjoying your own cock. The experience I found of homosexual sex was that you're fucking yourself. You can forget the other person. You're just bodies to each other. It's really pure way of doing it. It's much better than corrupting females, because the male wants the same thing. You just ignore the body and take what you want with consent. So there was a leap, right? So the narcissism and the wanting to fuck myself and fancying myself and dressing as a woman and looking in a mirror and seeing myself dressed as a woman and wanting to fuck myself and masturbating was what the narcissism drove me to. And it was all so empty, and there's nothing there. It's just costume and style and behaviour. So the last step I've just learned this, is that the Sophia in my mind, so the image of the woman that I painted onto this surface, was merely an artifice of the actual woman that I was inside, who didn't look anything like me. She looked like my wife. The hottest woman that I know I've ever met and ever had in my arms is my image of Sophia inside me. Those two things are the same now. So now with my wife, when I make love to my wife, I'm making love to myself, to the Sophia that I am inside myself. But God approves of this way of having sex. He wants this, because the alpha males must understand their feminine nature, the truth that they are Sophia. Your consciousness is Sophia. You're just manifesting as this outer surface. It's all just costume, do you see? If I wear a dress and put on makeup and a wig, I'm no more different than I was when I'm standing there naked, or if I take my skin off, or if I'm a skeleton, or if I'm just... There's nothing there. You keep pulling away the costume, and nothing remains until you get to the light. And the light is all that remains. And the light has a form, and the form is the form of a woman. And we men manifest Sophia. That's our job and our duty and our joy. And that's the meaning of our lives. That's where we're going. Gosh, that was an interesting morning's chat. I hope you enjoyed it. The future is about to begin. You've got to listen to this information. The journey I have been on is the journey you're about to go on. Good luck. But we're going. Follow the Rebel King.